How was your day by yourself, getting yourself out of the woods? Working on that bit of anger that seemed to be difficult to shake at first. How did you do? Well, we're going to assess and see how close you are to getting to the top of that mountain that you know you need to climb, that you must climb. So let's do it. Let's get started right away, because Friday is the next day and it's an important one. Friday is going to be another type of test. The 28th of February, we're almost at the end of this month, where we've worked on replacing fear with love. Time to really take a final assessment and see how far you've come, how well you did, and to at least be recognizing the efforts that you put in to get to where you are. Here on this stream tonight, we're going to be working on that, and we'll be climbing the mountain. If you're just joining us for the first time, please click subscribe so you can be kept abreast of all new videos, which happen just about daily. And it's all about self-discovery, folks. So go ahead and click that button on the bottom right and like if you enjoy what you're seeing. Today, we talk about what it's like to climb the mountain. Why do it? Why do it if you've gotten yourself out of the woods? What more is there to prove? But this isn't about proving something to your ego. This isn't about proving something to the world or to yourself or to others. Then who are you proving this to? You're proving that you can continue with process. It's that simple. Life, no matter how many achievements you have, is still more about process than anything else. In other words, it just keeps going. It doesn't end. Even when we are not here and we pass on, our bodies go right into the base of this mountain, which feeds the earth so that more life can surge forth. We become compost, glorified, but still the same as everything else that goes back to the earth. And that's not a bad thing, I'd argue. While we're here, though, we have this interesting option where we can grow on our own to the point where no matter what comes our way, we'll know how to handle it without feeling like we have to count on someone else. That's not to be defeatist. It's not to say, wow, to think that way is to give up on everyone. No, it's actually quite the contrary. I have a lot of faith in people. But the process of life belongs to me. I have faith that people will follow through with their promises. I have faith that people will be kind as opposed to apathetic. I have faith that people will be generous with their time and with their resources for the sake of bringing comfort and ease of life to others. But the process of life, that's all up to me. The difference is very simple the way I'm thinking of it. You're the one, the only one, who holds the controller and moves around the directional pad and clicks the buttons, presses the buttons. You're the only one. And as far as counting on others, that's like choosing a level. But you choose a level in life, you have to expect that there'll be some random number generation. RNG, you've probably heard of that if you are a gamer or if you're into speedrunning. It is the random aspect that is placed in the level that you cannot predict because it's not set in a specific mathematical sequence, or at least one that we don't see, that we can't see. which means there's always stuff that's left up to chance. So when we count on someone, we have to accept that there's chance involved, and there's a likelihood, at least a probability, that the promise will not be delivered. And why is that? It's not because the person is guilty. It's simply because life is exciting when we're living it, and to live you have to fight for everything. And it's not a bad thing to fight. It's a bad thing to count on others to fight for you, because of the probability I just explained to you that things could go wrong. You have to be able to eliminate all of that and focus on process. Process doesn't care about probability. Process cares about getting to the top of the mountain. And to get to the top of the mountain, it's not about knowing the best trail, though it helps. It's a good predictive tool, but it could be that there's a rock that suddenly falls one day and blocks the path that is the easiest. Instead, what is important is one step at a time, the fact that you're going up. And if there's a boulder there, you go around it, but you're not going back down. You're already out of the woods. The only thing that's at the bottom of the mountain is the woods. You're going to go back in after you took all that time and effort to get out? Of course not. Life is about process. It's not about going back. That's the past. It's done. Whatever it was in the woods there, it had to do with anger, and now it's squashed. It's dead. Dead as a doorknob. You're moving on. Let's climb the mountain. Let's start with a deep inhale through the nose. Ujjayi breath, the sound of the ocean coming in through the nostrils. Hold that breath for a few seconds. Feel the urgency. It's okay. Recognize it's a feeling. Now let it out the nose. Now inhale again through the nose. Inhaling. Hold the breath. 3, 2, 1. Exhaling out the nose. Let's do one more. 3, 2, 1. Inhale. You'll notice, hold this, you'll notice that your breath is deepening every day, that we do this. This is a good sign. It's a sign of practice and process showing results. Exhale out the nose. Now just breathe normally. Let's introduce a job for the brain. The brain loves to have a job if we can give one. Otherwise, it's going to be thinking about social networks and messages and text messages and the past. You don't want that. The brain is simply wanting a job, but your ego doesn't want you to work. Your ego wants you to be comfortable. But we're going to say, sorry, ego, this is not your domain. This is meditation. Meditation uses the ego only to recognize whether or not the interference coming in is a thought or a feeling. And then we tell the ego to go kick it. And we're going to take the high road. When you're thinking now moving forward, as we inhale, I want you to think in your mind, I am breathing in. And when you exhale, I want you to think in your mind, I am breathing out. You can do it. It's very simple. Now you're going to think, I'm breathing in. Here we go. Breathe in. Now you're going to think, I'm breathing out, and breathe out. Congratulations, you've just taken the first full breath of your day, most likely. And that also equates to another step up the mountain to reach the top. Congratulations, let's do another. Inhale through the nose. Nice and deep. Sip in a little more air here. There we go. Try to force your lungs. Sip it in. Hold it. Feel that warmth on your third eye, on your forehead. Exhale out the nose. All right, we're doing great. So the objective here is to create a new you. Just breathe normally. Don't wonder whether or not you're doing this right. When it comes to meditation, I'm your guide, but I'm not judging you, nor am I in any position to be able to. I'm also not with you. Do you understand? I could be holding your hand. I could be right there next to you. But do you think I can understand what you're thinking? Of course not. That's your domain. Do you think I can understand how you're feeling? Your physical sensations? Of course not. That's why you are the one that's identifying whether or not it's a thought or a feeling. And by doing that, it diminishes the effect of whatever is negative or preoccupying your mind. Let's think again. I'm breathing in. Let's take in the inhale through the nose. Sip in some more. Hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling out the nose. Back to normal breathing. I want you to give yourself permission to think exactly as you need to think, imagining yourself reaching the top of this mountain, the visual. And I want you to see yourself making that final step, reaching the top where it's flat, and you're walking to the center of that area where you can walk to, and you see the sun. Just as we have always seen the sun before we do our good magic, before we do the most powerful exercise of this evening, which is to literally transform who we are. You are looking at that sun. It is beaming down to you. And now, like a tractor beam, or a vacuum, you're sucking that light from the sun right into your heart center. You're just pulling it in, and you're watching it and feeling it pour into your heart center, and it just kind of rests in this capsule, which is beaming with white light, and it's expansive and shining and powerful, active, ready to give you exactly what you need so that you're never without. And now the entirety of the sun has reached your heart center. It's there. The transfer is complete, like a file that you're transferring from one end to the other. You've cut and pasted, and it's arrived at your heart. And you're at the top of the mountain. And now you see a storm rolling in. The storm is rolling in. The clouds above you churning and rolling as the breeze comes in, and the light has started to fade, start to get a little darker. And then you hear maybe the rumblings of thunder coming from the other hills, the other mountains, rolling down them and coming up and rolling up them to you. And now I want you to think, who is the old you? Can you think of that person that's been fighting for so long for people to understand you, for you to understand yourself? Being disappointed, being let down, not being sure. Can you think of that old person? And why is that person old? Because we're going to replace this person with a new you. The person that's empowered and understanding of oneself, able to serve those in your immediate environment as you choose your manifestations, your mindset, your powerful self. So you've thought about your old self, and the storm has rolled in, and you hear the rumblings of thunder. And now you're thinking of the new you, empowered, strong, able, empathetic, curiously wanting to serve, good in all aspects, able to understand how to learn from one's mistakes. And now I want you to imagine The sky's clearing. You're holding on to that idea on the top of the mountain of that new you as the sky's clear and the sun breaks through, showing you the reflection of what's in your heart. And that heart center filled with light starts to dissipate now as the clouds break and disappear, and it's just blue skies. And the entire image fades. You're just going to leave it. You're not going to think about it. You're not going to wonder if you did it right or wrong. You're simply going to leave it and go on preparing your night or your day, depending on where you are, to either sleep or work. Do the good work through service. Congratulations, we have reached the top of the mountain. Just let it go. I wish you a wonderful evening, and I'm very happy that you came by today to be a part of this life change. And if you enjoyed what we did this evening, please do click like. And if you haven't subscribed, please do, so we can continue growing this community, this beautiful community of those who are improving oneself through the polymath education for self-discovery. Thank you for watching. My name is William Vincent Carleton. It's been a pleasure. I hope that this was of use to you this evening. I'll see you on the flip side.